Okay.
G'day YouTube, Ranger of Oz and Ranger of Nights here. It's review time and it's that time of year for Toku enthusiasts like myself and newbies like Ranger of Night.
Yes.
Yes, it is the first episode of the newest KamenRider, or if you remember Saban's attempt at it back in the 90s, Masked Rider. Yeah, I know, nobody likes Furbus. Don't worry, there are no furry little Furby wannabes in this one, I promise. And it's not a sitcom. It's a police procedural!
Yes. It's CSI Rider.
Actually, and we have confirmation from one of the guys behind this series, they've borrowed heavily from procedurals and Knight Rider. So any similarities to the 1980s Knight Rider with the artificially intelligent car and the Hoff and everything.
The half needs a cameo in it.
It's probably legit. And we do have photos and scans. Apparently we're going to get a dead set Tony Stark lookalike. But that's for future reference. Let's get on with episode 1. Why did my time stop? And KamenRider titles, episode titles, since I think like decade or something.
Ranger Knight Oz.
Yes.
When you said why my time stopped, then I thought the recorder was stopped.
No. That's the title, and it's not a rare thing for KamenRider episode titles to possess a pattern throughout a season. And so all of the titles for this season are going to be questions.
If I was naming the episode, yeah. I would say why I was moving slowly.
Yeah. It's a little bit of both sometimes, okay, which
there's something I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why the bad guy frees the victim, then attack him after he stopped after he's moving again normal? Should he attack him when he's still?
If he can't move, then he can't run away. But I think when he grabbed him is when it negated whatever was freezing time, as far as I can tell.
No, the guy that was running in the end of the episode, he was running, he froze, then he stopped frozen, and the guy appeared. The bad guy appeared to him, and then grabbed him when he's still moving.
Yeah, well, he was moving slower. It's not a full stop, it's a slowdown, but we'll get to that. You're skipping ahead like the entire episode, dude. Because you haven't even got through the beginning stuff. You're skipping right the way ahead.
Okay.
And it does show some of that in the beginning. And the beginning is probably one of the most dead set, highest kill counts in the first episode of a KamenRider episode, a series.
Yeah, about the start. When they first start, I thought to myself, did the episode start? Oh, this is the Hot Wheels commercial before it. Because the tracks was coming and the small cars.
Yes. Yes, the shift cars.
It was like Hot Wheels.
Okay, basically what he's referring to is, in the first scene, you have a perfectly normal night, you know, you've got people going to the cafe and everything, and then suddenly time freaks out. There's a moment of pause, and then everybody and everything slows down. Except for the massive explosions and the monsters that start attacking just as the slowdown starts. Obviously, this was planned. You don't know who planned it yet, but obviously it was planned. And all throughout this, you get introduced to the KamenRider Shinosuke, I believe his name is. I don't usually pay much attention to the names when it all first starts. But yeah, Shinosuke Tomari. his
You'd notice more than me.
his partner dies because of the slowdown and Shinosuke being shocked
Shot.
by it and pulling the trigger and everything. Um,
That was gruesome.
yeah, I have to admit, and considering we just came off a series that was produced and head writer was Gen Urobuchi, and any anime fans who like Psycho Pass or Madoka Magica or
Or Fight Zero.
Fate Zero, you know
Wait,
Gen Urobuchi. You know what he's capable of. You know why he's called the Butcher.
yes, he's like the George R. R. Martin of the anime.
Of the anime world, yes. And we've come off that with KamenRider Drive, and we've gone to KamenRider Drive, which is, give me 2 seconds to see what I can, if I can find out who produced this one, because I don't actually know. It's not going to tell me. But yeah, so Shinosuke's partner dies, things go from bad to worse, and then we see the shift cars, or the excuse me, the Hot Wheels cars that Ranger of Knights mentioned, being running around saving the world and being used by KamenRider Drive. Wait, it's a little early, and
The suit is not the same.
I don't know if it was or not. I don't know if it was or not. It looked similar, but
the color was darker.
It's possible it wasn't. Well, that was because he was standing in shadows, wasn't it?
I think so. It was night, man.
Yeah. Anyway, so Drive is introduced. Well, at least the suit is introduced, and monologue. Shinosuke is introduced properly, and he's a lazy bum.
Yes.
He's in a funk ever since the slowdown. He can't get interested in anything anymore, and then he gets arrested by his partner. Well,
yes.
his new partner.
Yeah. His new partner that I'll let her arrest me anytime.
Yes. Kiriko Shijima, that's it, sorry. My mistake.
I have a new question.
Him. Go for it.
Does the camera... I watched this after watching the first episode of Wizard.
Yep.
Does all the series have hot cops?
No. In fact, police involvement in KamenRider is usually low or played off as a comedy relief. The only 2 series before this that really had a strong, serious police presence were the first 2 series of the Heisei era, Kuga and Agito.
What about Wizard? Is not...
other than that, police don't really move in that much.
And Wizard?
And when they... Yeah, Wizard, yeah, but it wasn't... The police weren't really at the forefront like they are Drive, and like they were in Kuga and Agito. I mean, in Agito, one of the riders was a police-funded man-made suit in G3, G3X.
Like light speed.
Basically, yeah, it was actually closer to like an Iron Man armor, to be honest, except it was blue.
I mean the system, not the suit stuff. The
fact
by the government.
Yeah, the fact that it was man-made and funded by a government organization. Basically, yeah. But yeah, other than those 2 and now Drive, the police have never really been useful in a Kamen Rider or at the forefront of anything. We've never really had a procedural
They're
police drama
like
for a Kamen Rider.
cops in DC universe.
Yeah, except there's
Or
no
more.
Jim Gordon.
Okay,
Except
Marvel.
there's
We
no
don't
Jim
have a
Gordon.
good cop in Marvel. We have a good cop in
No.
Marvel? No?
Um. Yeah.
Continue,
So
my friend.
anyway. Yeah.
And
Anyway.
about the main character, you should
Yep.
say he didn't. His gear was not in shift.
No. Yeah. Well, they actually do say that at one stage, don't they? He doesn't have his.
That
He's not
that
in
what
gear.
his that's what the girls say.
Yeah. He's got to find his gear again, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah. They do say that. And
That's
there's
what I
also
said. It.
yeah. And she's got this entire book that just details all of his idiosyncrasies and where he likes to hide out and bum the day away and not do anything. And she's impressive.
Yeah, she's more
She's as
talkative
far as we know, she's
than
yeah.
Hannah Man.
Well, as far as we know, she's our rider girl for the series. Rider girls are basically sidekicks, damsel in distress, and sometimes I'll have a strong tie to a character or the storyline as a whole.
Yes.
So that's the position she's filling. A lot of, some of the people I've seen on Ranger Board have actually suggested she might not be the standard rider girl because she doesn't come across as it.
Like
I mean,
what? She's not. Cass.
Well, she's
Good with a gun.
Well, yeah, there's that. She's got no problems getting involved. She's actually quite skilled. She's smart. She doesn't seem like the sort of character that's going to end up as a damsel in distress. A lot of people are saying she might be. A lot of people are saying she might be a writer in the future. It's possible.
Maybe.
It'd be nice. Although I'm not sure if I really want to do that because just from the first episode, I kind of like her character. But female writers don't really have a very good have a very good track record. They're either one episode things where they borrow one of the existing power sets, or they die.
Yeah.
I think the one female writer that survived to the end, and I might be wrong. If anyone knows any different, please comment section below. Let me know. I might be wrong, but I think the only one that really survived to the end of the series and beyond was, I can't remember her name, Mage from KamenRider Wizard. You haven't seen her yet, but she will pop up soon. Not soon. She'll pop up at the end. But yeah,
I thought you meant the movie.
I think she's no. The mage set actually shows up in Wiz later on. You'll enjoy that.
Yeah,
I think you'll enjoy that. Anyway.
No, I mean
she drags.
The movie, the magic world where it's the ultimate reality world where everyone is a wizard. The cap is a rider too.
Yeah. No. That power set actually shows up in the series.
I see. Continue, man.
But anyway, so where was I? Kiriko drags him to the Tokyo Special Unit, and we get introduced to the supporting cast, whose names I don't know yet, but I'm sure I'll learn them maybe. And
they're the most pathetic cops I saw in my life. Seriously, they're jokes.
That leads on to the point I'm about to make, dude. They kind of remind me of Ryukendo. the cops on Madan Senki Ryukendo. You haven't seen this one yet, and some of the people who watch this may or may not have seen it. And if you want me to walk Poor Ranger of Knights through Ryukendo again, comments section, let me know. I will force him to watch it. But the whole setup with the special with the special unit and just their absolute geekishness and everything else smack, and so much of this actually does smack so much of Ryukendo. It is shocking.
They're special, but it's not in the cool special way.
No,
In
they're
the retarded way.
as my family likes to call it, they're special. Special education.
Yes.
We've just insulted someone, I know it.
At least he would comment.
So, introduced, and they get told that they have a case. There's been another slowdown reported. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. There is an app for that.
For what?
Seriously. People on their phones and their tablets actually have an app that tells them where slowdowns are occurring.
Yeah. Oh, I thought there's an app in the App Store now. What?
No. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome, and I'm hoping one of the really creative KamenRider Toku fans actually do create a slowdown detection app, because that would be freaking awesome. And if I had an iPhone or an iPad, I would probably download that. But I don't, so I probably won't. Well, you could download it. But yeah, so
And review it if it's there.
There's been a attack, a slowdown, and a attempted murder, and Shinosuke and Kiriko are sent to investigate, where they find out that it is being overseen by Genbachiro Oita. I probably said that so wrong. Who knew Shinosuke when he was with Tokyo's first unit, like the big special cops that get all the paychecks and get all the big cars and the women and the guns and the explosions and everything. Except Shinosuke's got the car this time. We'll get to Trideron in a minute. Actually, no, let's get to Trideron now, because you actually get introduced to Trideron before you get introduced to Genpachi What's-His-Face. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to call him Gen. Everybody else calls him Gen, so his name is Gen.
I'll call him Togomori.
You call him that.
From the Detective Conan series.
Shh, that works. So, before they get there, we find out that Trideron has been the car that Shinosuke has been given has been talking to him.
And this car annoys me.
Welcome to the Knight Rider parts of the series.
Do you know why?
Why?
Talk in English or don't talk in English. Don't throw some Japanese and English, Japanese and English.
Yes, English. You'll get used to that, or you'll have a psychotic episode, one of the two. But that does happen a lot in Toku. I'm glad you haven't seen Kyoryuji yet, because two characters in particular do that all the time. It would probably drive you insane. Anyway, Trideron is trying to convince Shinosuke to get his engine started, but he's like, yeah, I just can't be bothered. And he figures out that the voice is coming from a belt in the center console of... Wait a minute, how do you not notice that?
Because he's lazy as heck.
Either you are going through more of a slump than you've managed to convince anyone, or you are the worst detective I have ever seen in my life.
Maybe his
and I have
partner
watched the original Panther.
Maybe his partner is the brain of the operation, the old one.
It's entirely possible. It's KamenRider. I wouldn't put it past them to pull something like that off.
And he was the gun guy.
Anyway, he pulls the belt out and it wraps around his waist and locks into position, and he's now stuck with this talking belt.
Yes.
So they head to the they head to the scene of the crime. And we meet up with Gan, and he is a serious skeptic. He doesn't believe that the slowdowns happen.
Yes.
Even when he's actually sitting in the middle of one.
That's why I call him Tokumori.
Yeah.
He's stubborn as that guy.
Seriously. Shinosuke finds a clue, or a possible clue. Oh, excuse me. And a slowdown happens. The guy that caused the attack to the people, and the guy doesn't see him, turns into a monster. The guy still doesn't see it because he can't turn around because he's in the middle of a slowdown. People get attacked. The guy finally, leaves, backs off, goes away. He's backed off, I think, by the shift cars, if I remember correctly.
Yes. And
the belt calls the shift cars in.
And the guy that come scream emo with the hoodie and walking slowly.
Yeah, they're going there. But yeah, this guy doesn't turn around in time, doesn't see the monster. There's a meeting back at the special unit. See it, so it didn't happen, and I don't believe it.
And go back to the rock.
So, in the meantime, this has sparked something in Shinosuke. You know this because he does his tie up properly.
Yes.
The entire thing, his tie has been loose around his neck. But the second this happens, he finds this little shred of paper on the ground. It's a clue. The slowdown happens. The second it happens, sunk. Says he's getting serious. He's tightened his tie up. He's ready to go.
And the girl take her book and put a marker on it.
I'm wondering if that's like how many times he's actually pulled his tie up.
I think this is the first time.
So he's managed to get a composite of the dude he saw during the slowdown, and he starts going around with a photo, figures out where he used to hang out, which is a gym. Shocking. The entire time the belt is, you're finally getting your engine going. It's, wow. Mr. Obvious, ladies and gentlemen. He's stuck around the dude's waist nice and snug. So, he finally tracks him down, catches him attacking someone, but can't do anything about it because a slowdown happens again. One of the shift cars attaches to a holder on the belt, and he starts moving at full speed again. But naturally, he can't actually do anything because it's him versus a monster, and he's a dude. He's a regular person with no powers. And then we find out something interesting. Kiriko knew about the car, knew about the belt, knows about the shift cars,
and did a cool entrance. Don't forget about that cool entrance. Jump in there.
Yes, that's one of the reasons a lot of people don't think she's going to be the typical rider girl. Because she comes in and she just starts
Blast.
laying lead down. Straight in there. Gadoosh, gadoosh.
She's like Max Payne. Seriously, she jump and shoot like Max Payne. You played the game there? You played the
Yeah,
Max
I
Payne
played
game?
the game, yeah.
She's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Max
yeah.
Payne.
So yeah, there's a talk, there's a discussion. He decides he's not going to sit back. He's got his engine started, he's revved up, he's ready to roll. The brace that goes with the belt, now in store, kids, is brought to him by another shift car, the speed type shift car, and the belt explains to him how to use it, and we get our first transformation, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as flashy as some of the other stuff we've had.
Yes.
Well, I don't think it was as flashy as some of the other stuff. I mean, you've seen Wizard's transformation by now.
Yes. And it was look.
I mean,
I prefer this one because the rings in his head looks ridiculous.
Well, I mean, we've had something
too
similar.
big.
It's very, yeah, it's very similar to Forza's one, except Forza's one was covered by smoke, so you couldn't actually see the armor attaching. And at least you haven't seen the ones on KamenRider Drive yet. Those are hilarious. The fruit drops down. Just a
Maybe.
fruit, orange, straight onto his head. But yeah, so he's got his armor on and he can fight now, and we get the theme song in the background, and you know it's all juiced up, but he's not doing as well as he could be. So Kiriko gives up the 2 shift cars that he's got. They go to help him, and the belt explains he can tie a korkan, which basically, all right, the suit he has a tire like a
Change the
sash.
cover. Yeah.
Kind of. The suit he has a tire down the front of like a sash, and he can switch shift cars to change this tire.
This is the one thing Sente. See, KamenRider has better bad guy designs, you know? And the Sente has
Yeah.
better suit designs.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't agree with that if you saw the Tokuja suits. Boy, the Tokuja suits.
I comparing because between 2 series that is similar. This is the car series, right?
Yes.
I compare it with the turbo suits.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I have to admit, if there's one thing that Turbo/Car Ranger got right, it was the suits. They were a lot of fun. They actually looked really good.
And the morphers.
And the morphers. Yeah, I actually had a Turbo Morpher, and I sold it because I needed the money. And I'm so disappointed with myself for doing that.
So what one was?
Hey?
What Ranger was it?
The Turbo Morphers don't actually have any identification that separate it from Rangers.
I see.
So it's just you could have been anyone. But anyway, back to KamenRider. We're getting off topic. Back to KamenRider. So he does the tire change with, let's see if I remember this, Max Flare.
Yes,
Funky Spike.
Yeah, the orange, then the green one.
Funky Spike and Midnight Shadow.
I remember the colors, man.
Yeah.
Was orange, green,
Yes.
and blue.
Purple.
Okay, purple.
Purple. That's classic. Yeah, I remember the names. You remember the colors. It's all good. So Max Flare obviously gives him fire powers. Funky Spike's just like this spike thing, and you can actually spin the tires as an attack.
Yes.
What?
You know,
And then Midnight Shadow, I kid you not, turns him into a flipping ninja.
believe it.
Yeah. We're gonna get a lot of those, I'm sure, because if you sat down and watched the opening credits, you'll notice that Midnight Shadow actually allows him to create clones.
Does he can he turn himself to a girl too?
What was that, sorry?
Can he see the? Can he do the sexy no just?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. I can't believe we're having this conversation, but maybe we'll find out. So yeah, Midnight Shadow gives him like energy shurikens that he throws around. He defeats, because there are 3 monsters. He defeats 2, and then the belt tells him to switch back to speed which is just a standard tire.
Okay,
For the
I have
human.
warning. A warning to the producer. The ninja powers. Don't give him a Sharingan, or Jeffrey here will hate him. Because Jeffrey hates the Uchiha.
Oh boy, the mean I could go on that, but let's just stick with what we've got at the moment. So he
Okay.
switches back. He switches back to the speed, which is the regular tire, and then goes for the finisher. And this is
The Stone Cold Stunner.
not quite. This is the best finisher I have seen of a Kamen Rider. And
Outside of WWE.
there are no Kamen Riders in the WWE. I mean, we've seen some
mean,
fairly
finishers.
awesome. We've seen some fairly awesome rider finishes. You got your straight kicks. You got your kicks assisted by fire-breathing dragons. You've got kicks with lightning through them. You've got sword slash attacks. You've got being drummed to death. No, seriously, go and check out Hibiki's finishes. Dum dum dum. That's awesome. Freaky, but awesome. We've had train slashes. We've had just about everything. But at no point can I think of have we had a rider whose vehicle has driven
I have
around.
an idea.
What?
We need to do a series where you every week give me a lesson in KamenRider history.
I think we do. Anyway, at no point that I can think of have we had a finisher where the rider's vehicle drives in a circle at top speed around the monster and he just pinballs back and forth with a kick. Just off the car, onto the monster, back onto the car, just finally finishing with your standard rider kick. And I'm like, what?
Yes. I drive a car a little. I just. If someone did this, my car will be broken to in half.
Well, it is a supercar. Remember, it's a rider vehicle, so it's got some superpowers to it. I mean, it launches the tires for the tire changes. So
Yeah.
it's fairly special. It's a fairly special car. So it can obviously handle it.
It's like Optimus Prime's cousin.
Something like that. I don't know. There are actually going to be some changes for the car. Some form changes for the car later on in the series. We've seen some scans. So that is actually going to happen.
You know, I want to admit something.
Okay.
When he first defeated the bad guy, I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they used the bad guy to destroy it, and then he go big, and then I'm like a match battle happened. What Where's the match battle? Where is the...
Kamen Riders don't really have mech battle. Well, I know, which has got like trains with missile launchers and axes. And other than that, there aren't really many mech battles in Kamen Rider. There was Kamen Rider J. He could grow. Yeah, but so yeah, that's finished. Kiriko drags him to a secret room in the police station, and the Ryukendo similarities just continue to expand.
And
Not with a name,
he looked like...
but we have an organization within the police.
You know, the belt with that moving thing they put him on looked like the little guy in in the Megaforce series.
Tensu?
Yes, he looked like a big size.
Yeah. I can see the similarities for that. But yeah, we are introduced to the drive pit where Trideron is, and they explain, oh, we have to stop the bad guys and blah, 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 and at least this one's over. And Shinosuke says, no, I don't believe this case is closed yet. He holds up 2 bags with two little pieces of paper that he picked up. Could have been from anything that he picked up from the scenes of the crimes. Yep, off the ground and the scenes of the crime.
If I remember right, one was a paper and one was like looked like silvery thing.
Yeah, like the foil off the back of a tablet thing or something.
It's like a pips, when you open the Pepsi, there's when you open a Pepsi.
Yeah, I get you. I get what you're saying. But
let's give us opinion about the main What do you think about the main character?
Well, we're not quite finished yet.
Yes.
We're not quite finished with the episode rundown because there's one last thing that happens.
Yes.
You see, when the monsters were destroyed, they became the numbers that were sitting on their chest. 2 of those numbers exploded. One floated away and is approached by another man who has some gothish undertones in the way he dresses.
Motherfucker.
Who holds out what looks to be a shift car, which merges with the number and turns into a glowy ball. And apparently, we're going on to the 2 episodes per storyline build for it, which I don't mind it. It lets you build up with things, so it's good. It's all good.
Yes.
So, Kamen Rider Drive. You wanted to talk about Shinosuke for a second, Knights. Go for it.
Okay, see, where I live, I don't have a chance to wear formal suits with neckties, so I am usually impressed with guys that wear them. Especially after seeing what 2 of the main characters were in other series.
Ah, yes, Haruto and Eiji from Wizard and O's, respectively.
Okay, after I was a little harsh on the Wizard guy until I saw the other guy. That looked like a hippie from the 70s. It is a woman.
So you like Shinosuke's suit?
Yeah, and the tie. Red. I like red ties.
And I've worn a couple of red ties in my day. It's all good.
Yeah, I like the female character.
Yeah.
I'm romantic in heart. I like when I see a series. I like to have a love story, but not being the main focus. You know, out
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I can understand that. You don't get a lot of like you get undertones sometimes, every so often, but I don't think they really confirm a lot of pairings on Kamen Rider's episode and series. I think the closest we've had is what happened with at the end of Gaim, and I'm not going to spoil that because I want to make you watch that because that was actually pretty good.
the
I
fruit one.
was yeah, the Fruit Samurai one. I was hesitant on that one, but
Was-
it actually wasn't so bad. Not so hesitant on Drive, however. Honestly, that was pretty good. I mean,
That was cool.
you had some Knight Rider stuff in there. You had there was there was some smackings of Ryuken, just a touch, just with the police and everything, just a little bit in there, just a
Lighting,
taste.
speed lighting, and SPD.
Yeah, yeah. The car Trideron. I know there are a lot of people that are disappointed that it doesn't have a motorcycle. Trideron is really good. I'm not so sure. I'm starting to think that his armor is actually the front. Because if you notice, like when he was driving around without being transformed, Trideron had a complete front end. When he put the armor on, the right hand side, left hand side. You're right as you're watching it, but the left hand side of the car, around the tire where it launches the tire changes from,
Yeah,
there's a gap there, and I'm wondering if that's not where the armor's coming from.
maybe. The armor does look like a car part.
Yeah, it's possible. But I like Trideron. The tire changes are kind of cool. The tire
Yes.
changes are kind of cool. I'm
So,
sorry.
okay,
I
let's
know.
play
I
a
know.
guessing game.
Okay.
Is the bad guys a mad scientist or a creature from another world?
Ooh, that's tricky because we've had a little bit of both in Rider. Um,
And the way the bad guy attack can be one of two. A scientist can create something that slow things, or the other creature has the power to freeze. The two can work.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it might. I mean, for all we know, it could be a combination of the two, and we might have a return to because in the early days of Kamen Rider, there were criminal organizations. They weren't, beings that evolved alongside humanity or creatures from outer space or from the other side of mirrors or whatever else. Criminal organizations that usually had something to do with the writers getting their powers in the first place.
I
I
see.
mean, the original two writers were cyborgs created by Shocker to be their soldiers. Only they decided to fight against Shocker instead.
But
So it's entirely possible that it could be a combination of all of that, or it could be none of those. We'll find out. The thing about Kamen Rider is that they love to lead you on, especially the last few seasons. They don't tell you exactly what's going on until the latter half of the series.
at least this one we see him becoming the Kamen Rider.
Yeah, well, we
Wizard, he just come out and he's the Kamen Rider.
yeah, Wizard he already was. That's not the norm. In fact, that's actually an irregularity. You usually see the moment in time where they become a rider. So, um, yeah, that was KamenRider Drive. Final thoughts. I actually kind of liked it. It was a lot of fun. It
Me
was
too.
a little bit goofy, but it had a lot. There's some police procedural mixed in there. There's a little bit of Knight Rider mixed in there. There's a little bit of Kendo mixed in there, and there's a whole lot of fun mixed in there. And it's
It
going to be
may be,
interesting to see where it goes.
it may be my NM side. But there's nothing goofy about it. Compared with the anime I watch, is nothing.
Well, yeah, but anime they can get away with a lot more because anime they get away with a lot more. You're not going to see anyone do a full face fault in a Kamen Rider series. Although I'm pretty sure they've
Or
actually gotten close.
no nosebleeds.
No nosebleeds. Anyway, I think
No
that
panty
will
shot.
maybe a couple of panty shots. You think I'm
Yeah,
kidding?
people. I'm a pervert.
Yes, you are. You think I'm kidding about the panty shots? I'll have to introduce you to Kamen Rider Nadeshiko later.
Yeah, I was need to watch that.
Anyway, um, anyway, with that said, I think we're pretty much done here. Will we be doing this weekly? I think we will. What do you reckon?
We will.
We will?
We will.
We will. You heard the man. We will be doing this weekly.
So, yes. See, I want people to fight for something.
Okay.
I'm trying to make my mate here watch Fate Night Blade Works, and so far he didn't watch it. I did my job and watched
I'll
let him
get
watch
to it.
it and let me review that.
I've been busy, man. I've got like
I'm
TAFE
talking
stuff,
about
schoolwork.
reviewing it. I'm taking the people's voice about reviewing it or not.
Well, you guys heard him. Should we review Fate's what's it called?
Fate/Night. Ultimate
Fate
Blade
Night,
Work.
Ultimate Blade Wars, or whatever it's called? Or should we give that a miss? Comment section below. Let us know what you think. I do read over those comments, believe it or not.
Yes.
If you like this, you want to see
you
more.
read the 01.
If you like this, you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. You don't like it, you think we're crap, give us a thumbs down. I don't care.
And comment.
I need. Give us a comment. Tell us what you don't like, and we will see you next week for more Ranger reviews.
Yes.
Until then, I am Ranger of Oz. He is Ranger of Nights. That was KamenRider Drive, and we will see you all next time. Toodles.
Okay.